So, I see you have also chosen not to purchase the Switch 2. We won't go into detail on why, but you made a good choice for now. But you're stuck with these! And the stick drift from hell. So, we are going to show you how to fix these bad boys today by replacing these joysticks. And so that way you can keep playing your favorite games until the Switch 2 becomes, well, better. So we're going to first get started here with the left Joy-Con. Some of the things you will need are going to be probably this. You're just going to need this. This will have everything you need. But if you don't have this, you're going to need a tri-tip screwdriver and a small Phillips screwdriver. That's it. That's all you'll need. So let's crack this bad boy open. As you can see here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here. And they're all the tri-wing ones, so go ahead and get those removed. Now, very gently, you're going to pry this apart here. All the way around. Woo. Okay, so you don't, as you can see, there's ribbon cables here, so you don't want to pull too much. Otherwise, you'll rip those bad boys, because those go to your rails here. So open it like a book. And as you can see here, we've got everything all exposed. Don't worry, I won't make that joke again. It's fine. So first what you want to do is make sure you, if you're using tweezers, make sure you use ESD safe, so don't, go zzz, 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 zzz. And one of these, a spooger. So first what we want to do is unplug the battery, so that way you don't go zip, zip, and kaboom. Which, as you can tell, you gotta be very careful here, because it is also intertwined there with the vibrating motor. Okay, while we're here, we're also gonna use our safety scissors. Wow, these are not scissors. We're going to use these safety tweezers here, these ESD safe ones. We're going to gently massage out the vibrating plug. Okay, so now we've got that unplugged. What we next want to do is go ahead and we're going to need to get a Phillips drive here, small one, and we want to take out this screw here, because that holds in this whole plate here for us. It's just the screw. Oop, just like that. Okay. Now, like I said previously, we want to be gentle with all of these. And there's another screw hidden up here. So this is actually just clipped in. So you actually just want to gently pop this off. And as you can see, there's that screw there for you. Now, like I said, you gotta be super duper careful and not break anything here. So you need another screw here. Okay, we're gonna back up, because I realize you don't need to take that one off. After you've got this screw out, you want to gently remove this battery. So this battery is held in just by some slight adhesive. So take the flat end of your spudger, stick it underneath here, pry it right up there, and that will expose the other two screws here for you. So you'll want to take out these two, because these two are for the board. So we don't want to remove the silver ones, just the gold ones. Okay, now you got those removed. This little tray comes out, but make sure you keep it over to the side here, because the trigger button cable is right here. So usually what I like to do at this point, since this is the joystick we're replacing, unplug any ribbon cables that may get overstretched or may have damage or be potentially damaged. So remove that to the side, flip up these little doors here for this one. Yeah, for the rails. This one over here. Because it's better to be safe than sorry. Even though it's fun repairing stuff, you don't want to have to do it if you don't have to. Okay, so now, as you can see here, we've got our joystick we're replacing here. We will go ahead and remove this flex cable here, and you want to remove these 2 gold screws, which then release the joystick. Okay, make sure you also unplug the joystick here. Probably smart to do it before you take out the screws, but oh well. Okay. And as you'll see here, as it starts to come out, there is a little membrane that you want to keep intact here. And that goes around here to help cushion the joystick. So you want to make sure you don't rip that out or anything like that, because that is still going to be needed with that new one. And then here is your old one. Let me go ahead and grab its replacement here, which, as you can see, is a white one. So the cool part is that these are all the joysticks between the Switch Lite, Nintendo Switch, and all the Joy-Cons, really. That's all the same joystick. So I had some from the last project I did, so we're going to replace them with these nice white ones, so they don't look like somebody took a bite out of this, a snack. We'll slide her back in there like so. Look at that, just like a glove. Now, what I like to do, right, is go and make sure this ribbon cable is all back here. And I like to screw it in before I actually put the ribbon cable in, because that way I know it's secure and it's not going to go anywhere. There's no chance of, anything happening. So. Make sure they're snug. Remember, not tight, snug. Okay. And then from there, you just repeat the process backwards. So, plug everything back in, and then we'll get to the plate here in a second. So let's go ahead and plug these all back in here for us. Okay, got that one. Come on, you little slut. There you go. Go ahead and put in these ones here. Come on. These are the part where I really was. I have flathead tweezers. I don't know where they went. I don't know if they got damaged or if they broke or what, but damn, do I miss them. That's crooked. Come on, you filthy bitch. Get in there. There you go. That's better. That's back on. Come on, you fuck. You absolutely shitting me right now? Thank you. Oh my god. It's also harder than fucking ball sack in this house right now. So I am sweating my goddamn nuts off. If you can't tell. Motherfucker, that's trigger's gonna. It's triggering me. It's triggering me. It's triggering me. Goddamn bumper. Those are simplistic design here, minimalist. Okay, so now you got these all connected. Let's go ahead and just restructure her back up. Oh, that's a hair. That's gross. This goes on top of here, nice and snug. Just like that. Put your screws back in. You can put them back in on all 3 spots now. So we've got the one down here and the 2 here. Okay, now what we want to do is plug your vibrating motor back in. Nice and snuggly wuggly. Don't forget your battery, that's kind of important here too. So we'll put that back in the top here. Go ahead and use some tweezers here to line her up and use the spudger to push her in. Oopsies. Really how shaky this camera mount is. Can't wait to get a new one. Okay. Had it lined up perfect, and then there we go. Okay. So now I like to loosely close this up right now, right? So make sure everything's all nice and tucked in here. Click back in like this. Make sure everything lights up like it's supposed to. And clicks. Perfect. Okay. Switch to the tri-tip. Put your 4 screws back in. Nice and snug. Just like so. Okay, just like that, you replace your joystick, got rid of your stick drift because we got a new joystick in there. And that's the left one. Now, the left one is the easier one, okay? So the right one we're going to get to is a little more complicated because it has that amiibo sensor so you can tap your amiibos on it for it to scan. So there's a little bit more to it than this left one. So I want to start with the left one to let you know that this is easy peasy. Next one, like I said, it's also easy peasy, but there's a nice huge ass sensor that's sitting right underneath this plastic. So let's go ahead and start with this one. What you want to do is, again, do those 4 screws. Gently separate your housing, just like last time. There we go. You can tell these have never been opened, which is kind of cool. Okay. As you see here, you can tell that's already slightly a little bit different. If not, when we remove this plate here with the trigger and the battery, you understand why it's a little bit different. So, like usual, unplug your battery. Unplug your vibrating motor just to get it out of the way. Boop. Now, what you'll also see here is that there is another sensor here. This is not the amiibo sensor, but it is a different sensor here that goes all the way here. It's a coax cable. So we want to unplug that down here as well. Get that bad boy unplugged. So now we can remove our battery like that. I like to keep the sensor in here because it's a pain in the butt to reroute it all. But you also can see that there is not screws underneath here like the last one. This one only has it here on the side. Oops, helps if I have Phillips head. Has one down here like the other side, like on the left hand. And the 2 screws got moved from, come on out. There we go. The 2 screws got moved from here to up here by the little shoulder button. So we'll go ahead and use our handy screwdriver and get those out. Put those aside. And then, like I said before, gently go ahead and lift up on it. Flip her over on its back. Now, this one you got to be a little bit more careful with, because I don't know if it's kind of hard to see in here. First of all, that will pop out. But your cable for this trigger is so much shorter. Why they decided to do that, I don't know. So we'll go ahead and undo it because we don't want it to rip or break, and we'll put this off to the side. Now, the cool part about this one is we don't have to do anything with that sensor. It just changed the screw layout and stuff like that. So as you can see, joystick is right here out in the open. So, and we don't have to really disconnect the rails. You can if you want. You don't have to. So we'll go ahead and unclip and undo the flex cable for the joystick. And we'll go ahead and remove the screws for the joystick. Get her all out of here. Okay. There's the old one, all nice and out. Remember, keep that membrane in there. So that way everything fits exactly the way it did before. Nice. Okay. Beautiful. Now this one is in a bag, so we'll go ahead and take her out of the bag here. Okay. We'll go ahead and slide it in, just like before. Pop those screws back in. Gotta be careful of those ribbon cables too. If you were like me and kept them connected, make sure you were very, very careful not to rip those. As you can tell, they're replaceable. They're just a pain in the butt. Okay. Now that that is back in, we can go ahead and slide. Sorry, I bumped the camera and it's jumping all over the place. You can slide the cable in here, as it kind of already did by itself. We'll go ahead and not hit my head on the camera. Slide it in there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Boop, and clip it back in. Okay, so if you were like me, and this came out and your spring came flying out, here's a nice little visual representation of how the spring should go in there. And then, as you can see, there's this little nice little cavity for it to fit in. We'll just pop it back in. Just like that. Okay. Now comes the fun part. As you remember, there's 3 things we gotta plug all back in after we put this plate back on, and there's lots of small space to do it. But let's go ahead and get this plate on. Ooh, actually, I lied. Remember that just teeny tiny little flex? Like, look at the distance of this. It just goes. Anyways, this is the hard part of trying to get. Let me get this hair out of the way. Trying to get, because you have a little bit of leeway because it does come off a little bit like this. But like I said, it is one of the biggest pains in the badonkadonks I've ever had to put back. I've never had to do it in gloves and with. We're gonna try these other tweezers that aren't broken. Look at this. Over the years, look how derpy and duck-footed my freaking plier or my tweezers have gotten. So we got ourselves a fresh ones. That way gives it more of a gorilla grip. Okay. Let's see if we can get this back in here. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a lot better now that I have. Whoops. I say that as I let go of it. Definitely have a better grip on it now. There we go. Slide it in. Close the door. Gently go ahead and flip this back over. Doop, just like that. Okay. Fit it back into its home. Bada bing, bada boom, Bob's your uncle. Okay. We want to put those 3 screws back in as well to hold this all down so that we don't have to deal with it later. So 2 up here by the trigger, and then the 1 down there by the vibrating motor. Okay. Now before I put the battery back in, I'm going to plug in this gray coax cable here for that sensor. try and do this as, because these, why people still use coax cables when we have flex cables is beyond me, but there we go. Plug this back in, grab our battery, put it in, and as you can tell, this is the way you actually put the battery in, right? Because it's got this little notch for the cables to come out of. We're going to use our nice new tweezers here as we bump the crap out of the camera some more. And plug her in like that. Okay, like before, we'll go ahead and just lightly close this up. Make sure everything lines up like it's supposed to. That, make sure it lights up, all the buttons push. Joystick's all movable. Okay. Let's go ahead and put those final screws in, which I keep forgetting are not magnetic. So if you try to be like me and try and use the magnetic tip of your screwdriver, it's not going to work. Okay. Nice and snug. Nice and snug. Nice and snug. And nice and snug. Okay. And that is how you replace your joysticks to get rid of your stick drift with your Joy-Cons. Now, if you want to see what other things to replace on the Joy-Cons or on the Switch, or some mods, right? So you want to change the shell or the buttons or something like that, leave a comment down below if you want to see a video like that. And we can definitely do some fun stuff with Joy-Cons. Other than that, I hope you guys liked the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll go ahead and see you guys in the next video. Peace, love, and happiness to your life and all of your lives. And we'll see you guys in the next video.